The pursuit of perfect espresso often leads down a path of high costs and complex electronics. Yet, within the world of manual levers, there exists devices that stand apart as purely mechanical precision instruments. One of these is the Cafelat Robot. The question at the heart of this review is simple, yet profound. Is this the best manual espresso maker money can buy? Today we're breaking that down from design to performance and to the kind of espresso this thing can really produce. Quick one before we start, if you love testing gear like this, do check out our BrewPoints loyalty program. Totally free to join, and every dollar you spend racks up towards rewards for exclusive drops and early access to gear. I'll drop a link in the description down below. All right, let's get into this video. Before we get too deep, let's start with what you actually get when you unbox the robot. Inside, you'll find the main robot lever assembly, along with a 58mm stainless steel basket and bottomless portafilter. You have a shower screen, then a custom stainless steel tamper that fits perfectly inside the basket. You get a silicone heat plug. Keep watching as we'll cover off heat management later on in this video. There's also the dual spouts that you can place onto the bottom of your portafilter for splitting espresso shots, and a pack of paper filters for adding to the bottom of your espresso basket. Then there's a pack of spare parts that includes a new piston seal and a portafilter O-ring. That's it. No cords, no needless accessories here. Just solid metal and a design that feels like it was built for the next few decades, not for the next few firmware updates. So how do we brew with the Cafelat Robot? Boil your kettle, grind your beans to an espresso grind, then place your dose, usually around 16 to 18 grams, into the filter basket. Tamp firmly using the included tamper. Add the shower screen. Lift the arms up on the robot. Then pour hot water straight off the boil on top of the shower screen. Bring this in and lock the portafilter into the base. Place a cup underneath, of course, and then begin slowly pulling down both levers evenly until you feel some resistance. Hold steady for a few seconds here. This is your pre-infusion. And then we can begin to apply gentle, consistent pressure for the rest of the shot. That's the entire process. Just you, your coffee, and a direct connection to what's happening in the cup. Once you've pulled the shot, cleanup is literally a matter of seconds. Remove the portafilter, rinse the filter basket, and then it's done. Now let's get into why this simple little machine has earned such a cult following among home baristas. Now, the Cafelat Robot's reputation rests on one foundational claim: an uncompromising, minimalist design built to professional standards. This machine is constructed entirely out of premium materials, primarily stainless steel, meaning it is completely plastic-free, bar a few silicone seals and so, remarkably robust, and honestly engineered to last. The robot feels like industrial art. It's overbuilt, intentional, and unapologetically mechanical. And the robot's simplicity isn't just aesthetics, it's functional. There are very few moving parts with this machine, which means almost nothing to break, and no complex electronics or internal heaters to fail. So maintenance, basically non-existent. The only part that really needs to have care taken is this piston seal, and a simple relube every now and then. They also include an additional piston seal, and that's it. And in a world full of smart gadgets, the robot stands as a reminder that the most reliable espresso machines maybe don't need a Wi-Fi connection. All right, here's where things get serious. The robot uses a commercial grade 58mm stainless steel filter basket with its bottomless portafilter. A similar standard used in professional espresso machines. Looks a little different, yet at exactly 58 centimeters, you will find many third-party available tools are slightly too big for the robot's basket. Yet, honestly, past a dosing ring and a distributor, Cafelat offers all the tools you need, and the workflow just feels right. Then, the standard size does come with some technical requirements, especially around your grind and your puck thickness when it comes to the dose. Espresso extraction depends heavily on puck depth. If your dose is too low, the puck becomes thin and prone to channeling. Too much water finds too few pathways and the shot turns sour fast. To counter that, the robot thrives with higher doses. So to create a stable puck, optimal doses are around 16 to 18 grams for medium to dark roasts. And then upwards of 20 grams, and you start hitting that sweet complexity for tactile richness the robot is known for. So yeah, this is manual. So it rewards those who dial their shots in thoughtfully. Now to begin anywhere, first I want to mention that this machine demands a good burr grinder. You want a fine grind, as fine or even finer than what you would use on a semi-automatic espresso machine, since the robot loves long pre-infusions. Next, tamping. The barista model includes this custom 58mm stainless steel tamper machined to fit perfectly into the basket. I just absolutely love it. And while some people like to tamp lightly, I honestly recommend a firm tamp to help minimize channeling. This isn't just a press and play situation, it's about precision and consistency. Now let's talk temperature, because the robot doesn't have internal heating. Managing heat is entirely up to you. For medium and dark roasts, it's simple. Use water straight off the boil. Pull the shot quickly, and I think you're golden. But for lighter roasts, that's a different game. They demand more heat, longer extractions, and a tighter control. So a technique developed by the community to turn this cold steel robot into a thermal powerhouse now exists straight out of the box with the Cafelat Robot. And here's how it works. This plug you place into the filter basket. It's a silicone seal that blocks the filter basket. Then you fill the filter basket with boiling water, lock it into the machine, and let the hot water heat the piston, the chamber, and the filter basket. This method keeps that brew temperature much more stable throughout the shot, which is essential for fully extracting those dense, lightly roasted beans. It's a bit of a ritual, but one that pays off beautifully if you follow it consistently. Now, the Cafelat Robot includes a pressure gauge, and it's not just a gimmick. It gives you live feedback on your extraction, letting you manually control the pressure profile from start to finish. Forget the old 9-bar myth here. Cafelat explicitly advises users to ignore it. In real-world espresso, the pressure at the group usually sits around 8 bars. And with the robot, you're the pump. You can perform soft pre-infusions, steady ramp-ups, or gentle declines, and it's all by feel through these levers. For medium to dark roasts, you'll want to emphasize perhaps body and sweetness. Here's a solid baseline recipe. This profile gives you that classic syrupy espresso that's dense, velvety, and well-balanced. Now for a fun one, the blooming espresso, or spro over method, perfect for those lighter roasts. This gives a cleaner, more tea-like cup with pronounced acidity and layered sweetness. It's a slower, more deliberate process, but it shows how versatile the robot truly is. Now here's where the Cafelat Robot crosses into the realm of precision instruments. I've been speaking about that, and the brilliance of the robot lies in its tactile manual control, but that same human element introduces variation from shot to shot. So how do we turn that feel into data? Well, that's where two modern tools come in. The Bookoo Espresso Monitor and the thermos scale. Together, they transform the robot from an analog lever into a data-driven espresso lab. With placing these two with the robot, it will track pressure curves in real time, letting you save extraction profiles, comparing variables, and analyzing your complete performance. Installation is simple. Using a custom-engineered T-splitter, the espresso monitor replaces the standard pressure gauge pin and reads pressure directly from inside the basket again. So you can even keep your analog gauge for instant feedback, whilst the espresso monitor logs data digitally in the background from your smartphone. Once connected, every shot honestly becomes a blueprint, not just a feeling from the levers. Pressure data is great, but without accurate weight and flow tracking though, the picture's incomplete. That's where the Bookoo Thermos mini scale comes in. It's small enough to sit perfectly under the robot's portafilter. No clearance issues, no nothing. It just measures to 1/10 of a gram and includes a timer, and this calculates real-time flow rate. When paired with the espresso monitor via Bluetooth, the robot can simultaneously log pressures, yields, and flow rates, creating that complete digital map of each extraction. This combination eliminates any guesswork of what's going on when you're pulling a shot. Now, the Cafelat Robot's closest rival, and this is no comparison video, but I would say is the Flare 58. The Flare 58, though, adds electronic preheating. Convenient, consistent, and I would say well suited to lighter roasts. The robot, meanwhile, trades that convenience of preheating for raw simplicity, a faster setup, a one-piece workflow. The Flare is more portable. It can be broken down much easier, whereas the robot, although it's not going to break in your luggage, it's more of a countertop tank. Flavor-wise, I would say the robot leans more towards a good body and texture, with balance and sweetness, whilst the Flare often delivers more clarity and brightness. Then again, with advanced profiling, especially using those data-driven approaches with the Bookoo EM and the Thermos scales, either one of these, the robot especially, can swing either way in the flavor profile. So is the Cafelat Robot the best manual espresso maker money can buy? Yes, if you value craftsmanship, longevity, and control. Its strengths are undeniable: industrial build, professional 58mm workflow, virtually zero maintenance, a fast setup and clean down. The trade-offs? Well, you will need to master your own temperature and brewing technique. And that goes without saying when you're talking about espresso, really. Once mastered, it will reward you with some of the most tactile, expressive espresso you can make without plugging anything in. And then when paired with these digital tools like the Bookoo espresso monitor and the Thermos scales, honestly, the robot evolves from a purely manual lever system into a quantifiable, repeatable espresso system. A mechanical purist's dream with a digital edge. The Cafelat Robot isn't just a machine. Honestly, it's a statement on your kitchen bench. And I think it's a reminder that perfect in espresso doesn't require power chords. Just a little bit of patience and precision. That's literally it. And perhaps maybe a love of metal. So thank you so much for watching till the end of this video. If you have any further questions on the robot, add them in the comment section down below and I'll get straight back to you. And as always, I'll see you in the next video.